Yo live. Yo live, boy. I said you live, boy. I said yo live. I said yo live, boy. I said yo live. I said, hey, listen here, boy. I said, listen here. Pay attention to keep your eyes on the ball, boy. Keep your eyes on the ball.
Here,
Listen to me.
I said, listen here.
Phooey. Okay, so the RVs, different RV types, camper types, whatever like that. Okay. Thinking about campers and RVs, thinking about different kinds of campers and RVs, different kinds, different kinds of campers, different kinds of RVs have different kinds of advantages, different kinds of disadvantages. Now, obviously, small RVs like vans, truck campers, things like that, they have a lot of advantage. They have the advantage of being able to park wherever you want to, in a parking lot or wherever you want to go, or anything like that. A disadvantage of truck campers here's a half ton. This is not in the best condition now, but it's a V6 half ton. Now you can pull a travel trailer with this thing. It says, it's a little rough, but $2,000. So let's see what else. Okay. Say hello if you're here. Okay. 2000 Silverado. Now here is a half-ton Silverado. And it's got 190,000 miles. First of all, does it run good? It runs good and the AC works. It's not perfect. It has a little rust and stuff like that. It's in pretty bad shape. Let's not look at it. Just in too bad a condition. Now here we go. This is a 1500. It's $3,500. 280,000 miles on it. Super clean, good running Chevy 1500 two-wheel drive 4.3. AC works and everything, and it's a good truck with a lot of miles on it. But you can get it pretty cheap, $3,500, to pull a small travel trailer. Something like you know, small camping trailer or a small travel trailer, that half-ton truck will pull a small camping trailer, a small travel trailer, you know. And, you know, a small travel trailer, you know, that's a new travel trailer and it's small and it's, you know, you have options for towing, you know. I like it. I mean, I like this. You know, go ahead and tow it with a mid-sized truck or SUV or even something smaller. You know, that the travel trailer I got, you know, I pulled it home with my Chevy Trailblazer. You know, if I got a brand new travel trailer, I might get something like that. Okay. The reason why is because, you know, I loved my truck camper and stuff like that. Now you can see what this truck cost. You know, 2,800 for a 2000. It has a lot of miles on it, but they run good and they're affordable. You know, $3,500, $4,000. Trucks are high, but when you go with a half ton, you know, you can get something affordable when you go with a half ton truck. And you can find, you know, a half ton that runs good, cheap. But if you're going to get a 3/4 ton, you know, even this is a, you know, it's affordable. It's 171,000 miles. It looks good. You know, 9,800 for $10,000. You can get a good half-ton short bed truck to pull a travel trailer like this little Winnebago here, you know, or some other kind of small trailer. It's 15. The body length is 15 feet. You know, 15-foot body. You got a 15-foot body, you know. The body length is 15 foot 9 inches. A few feet shorter than the Winnebago. You know, Winnebago hike, you know. And you have more room than a travel truck camper. Now, you can't park and gross vehicle weight 4,200 for about 1,500 pounds of stuff, you know. So you got, I mean, you can pull it with just about most anything, you know. And here's the inside of the Winnebago hike, you know. That's what the Winnebago hike is like. 18,000 BTU furnace, you know. Small campers are nimble on the road, easy to maneuver in campsites, you know. And if you know, it's 15 feet, you know. So nobody's in here watching, I don't reckon. I don't guess nobody wants to watch any of this. So I'll just ramble on to myself, you know. But what I'm saying, you know, you got it, and you can play this back later, you know. But, you know, basically for that much money, you can get a decent truck, you know. Let's see. You know, it has 285,000 miles on it. That's twice the miles, you know. For twice the money, you know. I mean, you can get a truck with 280,000 miles on it. It's a pretty good deal. But most of them aren't that cheap. Now, I guess I'm wrong. I'm biting my butt, you know. 380,000, and it's a little rough. It's 300, and there's a difference between a 3/4 ton and a, 380,000 miles, 6.0, it will need an oil pressure sensor, It will need an oil pressure sensor. It needs a repair, Now, this is a work truck here, 250,000 miles. I mean, they all have really high miles on them, what I'm saying. All the 3/4 tons, affordable 3/4 tons, all have 300,000 miles. That one has almost 300,000 miles. You see what I'm saying? That's for $10,000. Look at this. It's a diesel, you see, and it's all souped up and stuff, but they want, it's a 2005, $10,000 or something with almost 300,000 miles on it. But yeah, I mean, let's look at this one. 136, I'm batting my straight pipe exhaust. AC heat switch needs changed. We'll need a new yoke and pinion bearings changed in the rear differential. See, it needs work. It's just a little roughed up, But they're all, let's look at the Chevy 1500. Yeah, I know that there's maybe not a lot of difference, but let's see. They want 2,800 though for that one. See, this one is a half ton, and it's a little rough. The paint's a little rough on it. They want 2,800. You see what I'm saying? It's a little cheaper for a half ton. And there's a few truck campers, that you can get for a 285,000. But we'll go. Well, wait a minute. There's not a lot of difference between a half ton. Well, it's hard to find a 3/4 ton. It's hard to find a 3/4 ton. 300 miles. And you can get a lot more. You have choices of a lot more different kinds of trucks. This one has 165,000 miles on it. Push, no title. Well, let's look at SUVs. We'll look at those. You can get a 3/4 ton, but you're going to get a 3/4 ton cheaper, a half ton cheaper. When you go up to, that's 171,000 miles. That's the one I looked at. It's pretty expensive. Trucks are pretty expensive, half or 3/4 ton, but 4,200. 211,000 miles. I mean, it has high miles. It looks pretty good, but still, Okay. 2,500 for $2,500. Waiting on title in the mail. Needs shocks. Runs and drives good. We look at the body. It's pretty rough, though. You see what I'm saying? For $2,500. Now that one's souped up pretty nice with 300,000 miles on it for $2,500. I mean, 3/4 tons are a little more expensive, See, they're harder to find a 2,500 series. It's harder to find a 2,500 series pickup truck. 3,200, but they've all got a massive amount of miles on them, And they're banged up. They're used for, by workmen and stuff like that. You see. A lot of your 3/4 tons have just really been ran through the ringer, They've been ran through the ringer as heavy-duty work vehicles. It's harder to find a 3/4 ton that's not a work vehicle, Most of them have been driven by contractors and people, That's what I'm saying. Let's look up a Blazer. If you want to get away from, instead of a full-size truck, let's think about a Chevy Colorado. Let's look at a, you know, what is it? Colorado V6 will pull a travel trailer, a small travel trailer. Okay, here's a 2005 Colorado, V6, 130,000 miles for $5,000. You get away from full-size trucks, you go into a Colorado, you can get something with 130,000 miles on it for $5,000. That is pretty good deal. You see? Is it a V6? It does have rebuilt title. 5-cylinder. 5-cylinder inline. 2007 Colorado. Let's look at it. I think 184,000 for 3,500. It's a 5-cylinder automatic. Oh, see, transmission issues. I guess they're all expensive. I guess, you're just not going to have as many. You're not going to have as many options, Finding a 3/4-ton truck, it's harder to find. And it's harder to find long bed trucks for truck campers. That's the problem with a truck camper, is that heavy-duty trucks are expensive, Hey, look at this. If you could really find a cheap truck to pull a trailer, 150,000 miles. It's a little rough, but 150,000 miles. 4-wheel drive, short bed Chevy Colorado, at $1,500, clean title. Don't know what's wrong with it. Come and look at it. There's a lot of junk on Facebook Marketplace, But, but if you go into the world of used SUVs, 234 trucks really have a lot of miles on them. But I'm telling you, if you get a, I could just go around and around and find one. Let's see. Okay, now here's a Trailblazer. Now, the Trailblazer I got is a pretty good vehicle, And you can see it's 109,000. 2008 Trailblazer, 109,000. It's 4,800. Runs and drives good. It's engine light due to bad sensor. Delete heads. Been checked and full valve job. All new gaskets, light new tires. Great daily driver, a fun toy. See what I'm saying? 4,800. It's like my Trailblazer. You see? 109,000 miles for $4,800, man. And what I'm saying, here's an LT, 243,000. Trailblazers are good vehicles. There's my Trailblazer. I was looking to trade. There's a new Trailblazer, and that's what the new one looks like. Here's a 2007 Trailblazer, 168,000 miles for $5,000. You get a nice sporty SUV and stuff. It's a nice car. And if you're a woman, it might be less masculine to drive a Blazer, It's something that a girl would drive more. Wonder how she's a woman. Wonder how she pulls her travel trailer with her vehicle. Hey, man, look at this. 5,500, only 82K, man. 82,000 miles. $6,800 with 82,000 miles on it. You can still get these Trailblazers with 80,000 miles on them. It's still got 80K, man. $80,000. 80,000 miles on that thing. That is a damn good deal, man. 2006 Chevy Trailblazer LS. A nice one, too. $5,500 or $6,700. $5,500. I would love to get that. You know what I'm saying? SUVs, here is Toyota 4Runner. Yeah, it's a Toyota. It's going to be a little more expensive, but you get what I'm saying. You go an SUV, Let's look up a Suburban. Okay. Okay, now London, Kentucky is a Tahoe. It's got 200,000, but it's all souped up for $4,000. It's in the pictures. Todd needs a transfer case. Runs great. 4-wheel drives out of it. It's all jacked up with cool tires on it. Look at that shit. All jacked up with cool tires, huh? You know. Here's an older Tahoe. Let's look at it. Now they put, hey, I like that. That's original. It didn't have all this. It's only 138,000 miles on this Tahoe. Tahoe Sport. 4-wheel drive, 130,000 miles. Hot heat. Cherry House metallic, tan leather. Winter vehicle will take trays, regular cab, truck, cars, Jeeps, etc. Here's a 97 Chevy Tahoe 4-wheel drive with 138,000 miles for $4,500. See, this is a good vehicle to pull a camper with, a trailer. You see what I'm saying? I mean, trucks are good. Hey, Rosie, how are you? Trucks are not a good deal because they're work vehicles. They're expensive to pull a truck, to haul a truck camper. Hauling a truck camper is a lot of aggravation, and the reason why trucks are work vehicles, especially a heavy-duty truck. You can get a Chevy Colorado or a Toyota, or you can get yourself a half-ton truck, and it's more likely that you're going to have a better choice of good trucks, cheap, with a half-ton, Let's find the cheapest good 1500. Chevy 1500. Now here's a 1995. It has 165,000 miles for $1,500 for $3,000. A decent looking truck with decent interior, nice and everything. 1995. Damn good truck, runs and drives amazing. Hot heat, cold AC. Rebuilt transmission. New shift kit, all new bands and tranny was replaced. I have the paperwork to prove it. I hate to get rid of it, but I'm looking for something else. $3,000. That's a good vehicle, a good deal for a truck, man. I'm telling you. I have a Chevy 1500. You can find you a nice Chevy 1500 cheap, affordable. Now, let's see if we can find a Chevy 2500. How many miles did that say that had on it? You see, it's a good one. It's a good vehicle, That's what I'm saying. 165,000 miles. That ain't too bad. Let's see if you can get a Chevy 2500, 95 or something like that. A lot of your 1 3/4 tons have just either mostly 1500s. You see, 2500 for 12,000. Here's a 12,000 for, it's jacked up. It has 10,000 miles. I don't know about that. 2004 Chevy 2500. It has 203. Look, this is the kind of deals I'm talking about. It's a 2004 Silverado with nice wheels on it. Is it a diesel? A lot of these are diesels too. They're expensive. It's a diesel and it's expensive. 203,000 miles. I know it's a little more, but they want 12,000 out of that. See what I'm saying? I mean, 2002 1500 long bed. I mean, if you want a beater for $1,200, it has 200. Mechanic special, needs struts, new fuel line and brake line. But I mean, this is what I'm saying. Truck campers are good if you can invest in an expensive pickup truck to haul the truck camper. You see, there's no good deals on trucks for a truck camper anywhere. You see, they're all after the year 2000. There's no 90s, trucks. Here's one. It's a 1500. See, there's no 2500s. They're out there. They're mostly 1500s. Here's one. $10,000 though. See, they're all tore all this to crap, you know. You know. See, they're all really expensive. You see what I'm saying? You get a van, but I mean, who wants to drive a cargo van around? I want something attractive. Okay. Here's a 2006 Ford Econoline with 93,000 miles. That's a good deal. You know, I mean, you can get vans a good deal on a van. Yeah, I guess a van is a good deal, man. It's a good deal. 93,000 miles. That's a great deal. But I mean, it's so boring. It's such a boring vehicle. But when it does wear out and break down, you're screwed. That's the problem. When the motor blows up, eventually wears out, you're screwed. You're stuck with it. You put all this money into rebuilding this van, and when it breaks down or wears out, you're tethered to that vehicle. That's the only thing, is you're tethered to that mechanical vehicle. Hey, Jesse Scott. Yeah, Toyota Tundra or 4Runner, Jesse Scott. You're absolutely right, Jesse Scott. That 4Runner is a good vehicle. A lot of people have had those and have had great luck out of those. You know, well, yeah, and you can't, with a truck camper, you can't get a Toyota to haul a truck camper. Really small, lightweight truck campers, you can haul them with a Toyota, with a half-ton Toyota or an import Toyota. But the point of it is you have to really watch your weight, because it's very easy to get overloaded with a truck camper and overload your truck. These campers, a lot of truck campers weigh 2,000 pounds. My truck camper weighs 2,000 pounds. And it's just a lot easier to get a trailer to pull, and you're not tethered to the same vehicle. You know, you're not tethered to it. See, I mean, I really just, a van would be nice, but you're tethered to one vehicle. Let's look up a 4Runner. Now, they're kind of expensive, but they're good vehicles. So here's an old one, 1999 4Runner Limited. 202,000 miles. It's not too bad on a Toyota. It's a nice interior to it. Yeah, it's really nice interior with the wood grain and everything like that. That's pretty nice. That's what I'm talking about. You know, you can get better deals with stuff like this than you can trucks. I mean, trucks are expensive. Trucks are expensive. How many? Look at this. Is this real? Four-wheel drive, clean title, runs and drives awesome. Low for the year. Has a small exhaust leak. Front bumper needs to be clipped. My mechanic has some rust underneath the car. From what I've told me, the frame is rusty. If you want to do with it, press this firm. Frame is rusty. I don't know if the frame being is would be very rusty. It's not that old, you know, but you know. Here's an older 1998 Toyota 4Runner. Let's look at it. It looks like it's set up for overlanding, you know. But it's what I'm saying, you know. It's just, you know, you just can't find them. I mean, if you want something really that's just a beater, you know, to drive, a Toyota. 215,000 miles. Yeah, it's in bad shape. That one needs work into it. You're not going to find a Toyota very cheap, you know. Yeah, but let's see. You know, I'm talking about one in just decent condition. It doesn't have to be like new or nothing like that. You know, it doesn't have to be crazy new or perfect. But yeah, you just have to decide. You know, vans are good, but anything you do, I drive a 2012 Dodge 2500. Oh, that's pretty good. I guess if you have a 2500 and you hang on to it, but I imagine you've probably paid quite a bit for that truck and you've got quite a bit in it, you know. But how many miles do you have on it? Right? It's hard to find one without a lot of miles on it. And if you do, you know, you got to think about you're going to be driving it around every day, you know. You're going to be, whatever it is, you're going to be driving it all around. Let's look at a Dodge Durango. I'm just trying to come up with vehicles and campers that are interesting vehicles that are affordable, you know. I'm just trying to come up with vehicles that are affordable. Affordable vehicles that are not pieces of crap that are worn out. A lot of people just don't feel comfortable spending money on something with 200,000 miles on it. A lot of people are just scared of something with 200,000 miles on it, especially if you're just going to be driving it around all day, every day. You know, if you're living van life, you're going to be moving around constantly. You're going to be constantly starting that thing and moving that thing around all the time. Musical chairs all the time. Playing musical chairs all the time, moving around that thing all the time, constantly. I paid $14,000 for it, and it's 117,000 miles. That ain't bad, you know. That's a good deal. If you can invest in, you know, a vehicle like that, a truck, that's a good thing. This one, thinking about open to trades, no rust anywhere. This Dodge Durango looks like a good vehicle. It's 4,700, and it's a nice newer vehicle. It looks like it's in great shape, you know. This is a good deal for pulling a trailer. If you got a small camping trailer to travel with, you know, you can pull it with something like a Dodge Durango or something like that, affordable, you know, and you got 139,000 miles on it. You got something without too many miles on it. I mean, if you can afford a truck like Jesse Scott has, one without too many miles on it, and pay $14,000 for it, you can do that. But I mean, if you don't have a lot of money to spend on one, here's a 99, 147. The miles are getting a little bit up there, but it ain't too bad. You know what? No rust, you know, nothing with bad rust, you know. Southern SUV, you know, $3,000 on it, you know, starting to get a little age on it. If you get one with a little age on it, but it's still, you know, affordable. From what I can see here, the Dodge Durango, your mid-sized SUVs, your your smaller SUVs, maybe that have the power to pull a camper, you know, like a 5.9 V8. You got a V8 in that Dodge Durango and 115,000 miles on. That one's got a knock in the engine, you know. Even without many miles, it's got a knock in the engine. Toyotas are good if you can afford one. You could probably find a good Toyota somewhere without paying much. But, you know, I'm just thinking about getting people into, you know, into cheaper SUVs and cheaper rigs and cheaper RVs, you know. Cheaper ways to travel, cheaper ways to do stuff. Cheaper ways to do stuff. You know. Now it's got 189,000, but for less than $2,000, you know. And that's not a bad deal for less than $2,000. Let's see if it runs good. Runs and drives good. Drive it every day. You know, good. Only thing wrong with it is I need to overdrive solenoid. So it doesn't go into overdrive, you know. You know, it doesn't go into overdrive. You don't really know if they're telling the truth or not, to be honest. But, you know, it's according to the person, what the person can really afford. What the person can really afford. And these Dodge Durangos seem like they have things wrong with them, you know. Mm. It runs and drives good, you know, 184,000 miles on a Dodge Durango, you know. I guess they probably had quite a few problems at a Dodge Durangos, you know. It seems like Dodge Durangos are a little, you know, they break down. I'm just thinking about ways to get people into vehicles RVs that are cheaper, you know. But if you get a 3/4 ton, you know, for a good 3/4 ton truck, you're going to pay quite a bit of money. For a good 3/4 ton, you're going to have to pay quite a bit of money. I mean, you can get a half-ton truck. You know, you can get a half-ton truck affordable, you know. Easier to find affordable for a half-ton than a 3/4 ton. And for a smaller Colorado type truck, might not be as durable. Seems like the Colorados may not have the power, and they're just not as durable. Colorados are just not as durable as Durangos. Durangos don't seem that durable, but they all have something wrong with them. The Durangos have things wrong with them mechanically. You know, the Trailblazer is a good vehicle. If somebody wanted to pull a travel trailer or a small camper, I would recommend the Chevy Trailblazer, 2002 to 2009. You know, 2002 to 2009. And it also has a GMC Envoy, okay, is the twin. It's a rebadged Trailblazer. The rebadged Trailblazer is called a GMC Envoy. Now, this is an SLT, and it's a Chevrolet. It's a good vehicle. Shepherdsville has 209,000 miles on it. You know, I don't know how good mechanically that vehicle is. But, you know, I'm telling you, you can get one affordable. 195. I tell you, mine has 200,000 miles on it. Runs great. You know, all electric seats for works. We're coming. 31. Let's see. Also is the Buick Rainier. Now, the Buick Rainier is a rebadged Chevy Trailblazer. It's just like a Chevy Trailblazer, but it's, you know, recalled the, you know, Buick Rainier is what it's called. Okay. Most of these engines, you know, a lot of them have the, we have the Bravada for a little while. They made the Oldsmobile Bravada. Now, before they quit making Oldsmobile in 2004, they made the Oldsmobile Bravada on the platform of the Chevrolet Trailblazer. Now, this is a rebadged Chevy Trailblazer in the early versions. 2002, 2003, 2004. They had the, you know, Olds Bravada Chevy Trailblazer version. 95,000 miles. That's a good deal, really a good deal. And it's a great engine, a great vehicle. Okay, we have the, and also an Isuzu is rebadged. Now, this is an Isuzu. Now, it's called the Isuzu Ascender. It's a rebadged Chevy Trailblazer on the platform of the Chevy Trailblazer that's an Isuzu Ascender. And it's a little fancier, it seems like the Isuzu is. Okay, because Chevy has a partnership with Isuzu. So, and the last one is when GM owns Saab. Now, the Saab, they actually had a Saab rebadged Trailblazer. Chevrolet Trailblazer rebadged. Is it a real Saab? Yeah, it's a Saab. It's called the 9-7X. The 97X is a rebadged Chevy Trailblazer for $4,000. And that ain't really too bad for a Saab, you know. Here's another one. 140,000. That is a good deal. Only 140, man. 140,000. That is a Saab 97X. It has a push button start and everything. And it's a good vehicle. You know what I'm saying? It's not a bad deal. Now that's 16 miles a gallon combined. You know, it's a Chevy. It's a Saab 97X. You know, I would like to have that. If you like a Chevy Trailblazer, you know, you like these Chevy Trailblazers, you know, and all these kind of vehicles. See, these are all the variant. Oh man, beautiful vehicle, chrome. This is the chrome version of it. See, look at that, nice interior too. Look at that. Yes, it looks like the same interior door panel as the Isuzu Ascender, but I'd rather have a Saab than an Isuzu, honestly. The Saab, you know, the Saab 97X. GM product. Joni, you're loaded with cash. Yeah, I don't know about being loaded with cash, but I'm just looking at these vehicles. But I'm telling you, the Chevrolet Trailblazer for pulling a small camping trailer, the Chevrolet Trailblazer with a small camper. If you want to go with a vintage camper, any kind of small camping trailer is a good option. Truck campers are good if you can invest in an expensive pickup truck, but you got to realize it's going to have a lot of miles if you get a cheap one, and you're going to have to restore it. Guys, that's what I've been thinking of with this truck I've got. See, I paid $1,000 for it. It needs work. And the point of it, I'm going to have to do a lot of work on this truck to get this thing out on the road to go on a trip, because I don't want it to start breaking down all the time, you know? I don't want to start breaking down all the time in this old truck with this camper on it, you know, breaking down everywhere I go, breaking down. The truck tore up, the truck tore up, the truck tore up. You know, it needs a little bit of steering work, but the fact is it was a farm truck, beat to death, pretty much, beat up pretty bad farm truck. It doesn't have any luxury at all. The truck doesn't. And it's good to be able to haul the camper. And if I can boondock in parking lots, that's a good thing. I can have a truck camper to boondock in parking lots, and that's an advantage of it. Boondocking like a van. I like a van if you can get it fixed up, but you see, I like glamping. I like glamping is what I like. I like the glamping feel. And so that's what you call glamping. Glamorous camping. You see, this is what I'm talking about. Glamping. Glamping. You see, you're in a tent, glamping in a tent. That's really cool. It's just camping in styles. The prodigy of luxury and experimental travel. Glamping is where nature meets stunning modern luxury. Experimental travel is an authentic way to connect with nature. Glamping. What is glamping? Glamorous, and it's a portmanteau, a style of camping and amenities and resort style services. You know, this is what glamping is, you know? Glamorous and camping, a style of camping with amenities and in some cases resort style services, not usually associated with traditional camping. 21st century tourists, modern amenity, Wi-Fi, escapism, adventure recreation of camping, you know. They camp and you know, basically the glamping style, you know. Glamorous luxury, you know. Glamping is glamorous camping, you know. Okay, away here. You know, that's what their glamping experience is about, you know. There's the campers at the KOA campground. They stay in their own little cabins, you know. There's the RVs at the KOA campground. Yeah, it's just, you know, just thinking, you know, that's a Saab 97X. So these are all the derivatives of the Chevy Trailblazer. You know, these are all the versions of the Chevy Trailblazer. I just really do feel like they all have that Saab grill. With that old Saab. That's a 1973 Saab. You got to think about, let's look up camper vans. You get a 1989 camper van. And a lot of people have vans they built into camper vans that are just, you know, something like this here, you know, if you're not going to move it around much. I like this, you know, if you customized it and fixed it up. Of course, it's not going to be anything that's going to be in good mechanical condition. It's just going to be torn all to pieces mechanically. It has to be mechanically restored and stuff, you know. What is it, 1971, you know? Not currently running. That's the point to it. It's not currently running. It's a 1971. Oh, is it in Kentucky? Oh, wow. Hardersville, Kentucky. Wow. It's kind of like a truck camper. But, I was just thinking about, if you can find a camper van, a Class B, you know. Let's see. They're pretty expensive, you know. It's according to the person. I mean, if you want to build one all out, you know, make one nice, you know, and build it out nice, you know. Tasha spent a lot of money on her van, getting it all fixed, and she's a mechanic, you know. If it tears up, she's a mechanic. She knows how to fix it. But, if you're not a mechanic, you know, you're going to have to be paying out the butthole to get it fixed, you know. It's harder to ditch your vehicle if it starts breaking down. That's the point. It's hard to ditch your vehicle if it starts breaking down. You know, mechanical problems, you know. You just have to think, here's a travel craft, Chevy travel craft. Oh, that's a motorhome. That's not a camper. It's a 1982, you know. Usually these motorhomes, though, they don't have many miles on them, you know. They don't have too many miles on them. Because they're just driven every now and then. And here's interesting. Here's a Toyota with a motor blown up in it. You know, I'm just thinking, you know. There's no Class B's around here. Yeah, there's a 2014 Nissan cargo van. If you're going to build out a van into an RV, it's got to be, you know, you're going to be putting a lot into that. Up to you. It's up to the person who wants to do the project. So I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to catch you on the flip side. And I just thought I'd come on here and ramble and rant just a little. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.